imposter. You ever felt like that? I feel like this is becoming more and more of a problem today. It just seems like, I don't know exactly why. I don't know why it's there. Like, why is that even a thing? But I feel like so many people, they struggle with feeling like they're a fake. They feel like they're an imposter. They don't feel like they have enough experience or enough like whatever credibility or whatever to do the thing that they're doing, right? That they can't branch out. They can't like go and do the thing that they want because they feel like they'll do it wrong and they're not perfect. And maybe it's because of like kind of the Instagram lifestyle that some people have. And I guess I'm not saying some people have, but just that there's, this kind of notion of, like you see things on social media and it's like, everything's so perfect for that person, right? And so we think sometimes, and it's not even, anyway, it's not the person's fault either, right? But I think people in general, like we just look at those things and look at the best picture of somebody and say, there's something wrong with me because that's not my life, right? I see a small glimpse into their life, which is a very, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody. I'm just curious where that comes from. Why do we feel like imposters? Because, I was feeling a little bit of that today, but as I went through it and I just thought so where is that coming from exactly? Because it wasn't like anyone said anything per se. I mean, I guess I did get some comments from people that were like, I already learned that or learned this, why are you teaching me that type of stuff? And so, or someone else teaches that, so why are you sharing? I've already heard that type of thing. So I guess maybe that's part of why I'm thinking that. So maybe that's some of it. But I think for me, it was a thought that came to my mind of what if they find out? What if people what if they just don't think I'm good enough, right? And I think that that's a major problem that a lot of people struggle with. And what has come to me right now, as far as what to do with that, if you're feeling like that, is just to go talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to a family member that you trust, and just tell them how you're feeling, right? Because I think they'll be able to help you to see that you probably are less of an imposter than you think that you are, right? And because the thing is, I don't know, the thing is making mistakes is just part of life. That's part of how you learn things anyways, right? So I was a missionary in Croatia. I learned Croatian. Croatian's a hard language. A lot of people don't even know, is that a language? I was yeah, I've been in Croatia. They're like, well, what do they speak there? Russian or something? Well, no, it is a Slavic language, so it's like Russian, and it's fun to watch TV and hear, different people talking in Russian and be like, oh yeah, hey, that's the same. What were we watching? We were watching something the other day, but yeah. But when I was there, I remember I was talking. I just wanted to speak perfectly. I just didn't want to make mistakes. So when I learned Croatian, I felt like I was very diligent and just understanding all the rules and how you do that, because it's very different. You can speak almost like Yoda in Croatian, because you can mix around the order of things quite a bit, And so I just remember being there for the first time, learned how to speak, and then I get there to Croatia and I'm talking to people. And I just remember I was sitting down with someone and I said 8 words or something. I don't even know. It wasn't even that many, but it was they're like, wow, that was all perfect. You said it perfectly. And I was like, yes, it's so cool. It felt amazing. But I still was struggling to actually talk that much. I just didn't know that much. And my progress was pretty darn slow because all I was doing was, just trying, I was trying to just be so perfect. And so it didn't allow me to grow that much. But then there was another guy that came and he was speaking and he just didn't care about making mistakes, right? Ted Farron, what's up, bro? But Ted would just he'd just make all sorts of mistakes and he just didn't care. He was just boom, I'm just gonna say this and say that. But then people would just correct him and then, okay, cool, now I know. You keep talking, you do all these things. And I was so amazed how quickly he was learning. And I was what the heck? I've been here for 2 more months than him, which, you know, isn't that much when you're learning language, but it was still one of those things I was like, man, that's kind of rough. Yeah, I just feel like he really just was going so much faster. And not that there's like a comparison there or whatever, I don't even care, but I think to me, really what helped me see that is like, hey, he made mistakes and was able to correct and to grow, right? Like that's what he did. And so same thing for, I think with the imposter syndrome, if there's something you feel like, oh man, like I just I'm not good enough at this thing, like there's value, and like we do just learn things by trial and error too, right? I mean, you can like basketball, great example. Boys are doing basketball right now. They love it. They're having so much fun and all this stuff. But the thing is, like we could sit down, I could sit down with them every day and spend an hour just talking to them. Okay, this is the perfect form. This is what you have to do. You have to bend your knees. You got to have your hand in this position. You got to jump as, you know, the peak, you know, all this stuff, and just talk about it all day. Okay, cool, Dad. I'm super excited. We're learning this. We're learning it. Keep learning and going. And then, but we never go and do it, right? We never go and practice it. So then how are they going to learn, right? If they actually go out, like you need to learn some things, right? I need to teach you some of the rules. I need to teach you some of how it works. What's the form and that type of stuff. But you also just have to go do it. You have to just go do it. And so that's where I just think with the imposter syndrome, with whatever you're feeling, you may need to just be also just taking action and not worried about being perfect. I know that I've struggled with that a lot, of just feeling like, oh, I just have to have the perfect thing. But like, again, getting out there, doing things, it really allows you to see that success, you know, and so sometimes it's kind of messy when you're doing it, right? It is, but that's okay, right? So I encourage you to, first of all, just slap the imposter syndrome in the face. You know, if you have those thoughts come to mind, just don't worry about them. Go talk to someone, right? DM me, whatever, but like just reach out to someone and just ask them, like, I just am feeling like this. And most of the time I'm amazed how much that helps when you just talk. Someone's able to look at it from the outside, get out of your head, and do that. So do that, and then just take some action, right? Just go do it, because that's how we learn. We have to just take action, and you're just not going to be able to do it perfectly anyways. And so you may as well just try and just go do it, and just know that taking action and doing that allows you to find out, you know, what you need to know a lot sooner than if you just like study it the whole time and never do it, right? So anyways, hope that helps you. And I know it's a big deal. Like there's a lot of people that struggle with that. And so hopefully that helps. But anyways, till next time, I hope that you go out and make an